Hi there. Today I'm going to show you how to make a contraption to remove snow from your roof. Everything you see here I got from Home Depot. Little plug there. Okay, so I have a 4-foot piece of flat aluminum. It's 1.5 inches wide by 1/8 inch thick. Plus I've got a 1/4 inch threaded rod. Then I've got a 9.5 foot long tarp, which was about $10. And I've got some machine screws and anti-skid pads for my wheels. Okay, so I decided to have my contraption here to be about 10 inches high, so I've measured 10 inches from either side of the 4-foot piece of aluminum. Okay, so with the help of my workmate, I'm going to bend this piece of aluminum to 90 degrees, and I just took my time, so I just coaxed it in there with brute strength. Took about a minute, and did both sides. So after the bending process, I wanted to make sure I had 90 degrees, and that looks pretty good. And on to the next step. Okay, so I've got the frame bent, and the corners are reasonable. I mean, you know, it's pretty flexible, so give or take a 1/4 inch probably is not going to matter too much. So now I've got this threaded rod, and my idea is to take these little, what are they? Heavy-duty pads from Home Depot. Got them in the hardware supplies section. There it is, like that. And yeah, it looks like they got a metal inside, so it's impregnated there. So if I enlarge that to fit the end of this this metal rod, I should be in business. Okay, so on this attempt, I just put the vise grips right on the wheel itself to hold that washer in place, because it's loose in there. And I'm going to see if I can try to drill this while it's in there without it coming out. There we go. Mounted. So what I want to do, if I can turn this around here, or just do it on this side, like this, is I want to make sure that this is about, I don't know, 1 inch, I think. Yep, that's about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to see where that marks out. So I don't know if this is dead center, but I'll make sure that I've got the center point right about there, and nothing too precise here. Okay, so I've got the other end here. You can see on this end I've got the hole drilled already, and that's a 1/2 inch to the center. Oopsie. So I measured 3/4, so there's my X marks the spot. So I'm going to go drill this over on the drill press. Okay, so I got both holes drilled. So now the idea is, stuck out of the way, is to thread this rod through here, so, and then put these little, well, I'm calling them wheels now. Okay, so I played around with the frame so that we had 28 inches width on the top and the bottom, and I discovered on the other end where I've got a wheel and a nylon nut that I need to measure. In the threaded rod needs to be 3/4 of an inch past the end here, so that's where I'm gonna mark that. Okay, so I've got the threaded rod cut. So now what I want to do is I want to put this on to the 28 inch mark. I'll have to wing it here. So I need 3/4 plus 1/8. Okay, well there's 3/4, so I need another 1/8, another couple of threads. There we go. Yep, that'll do her. Might as well do the other side. Okay, I decided to speed this up just to keep it short. So you can see I've got the locking nuts on the inside. So I've mounted that into the bracket. And so I took the little pads / wheels and put them on either side. And then all I did after that was put on the nylon nuts, locking nuts on the outside. And I had to use vise grips on the threaded rod just to keep it from spinning. So you'll see that coming up. Yep, there it is. So just finishing up on this side, and then I flip it over, and I'll do the other side as well. Yeah, there we go. Put the wheel on. Yeah, that was the first one I had attempted to do, and the washer had come out, but it still works. Clamp it down, screw it on, and I'm done. So, I don't know if you can see that. That's what's hopefully going to be going on the roof. And I just got to mount this to the pole, and we'll see how that goes. So this is the part where I add the tarp to the bracket. So what I will do is basically fold it over, maybe overlap it like 4 inches over that threaded rod. It's about 27¼ inches from locking nut to locking nut. So that's what I've decided to cut the tarp to. And I cut off the top edge because it had an eyelet on it. I didn't want that because I didn't think it would lend very well to being taped over. So I decided to cut that off. And I picked up this rotary cutter. I think it was from the dollar store. And works really well for cutting. I think better than an X-Acto knife. But you can use whatever you want. So in the next few minutes, I basically cut 9½ feet of tarp, 27¼ inches across. So that takes about about 5 minutes or so to do. So after cutting down the tarp to size, I'm now folding it over the threaded rod and about to tape it down using tuck tape. It holds on not too bad. I just about completed the whole house after I finished the project, and it started to come off a little bit. I mean, it was still intact, but it started to come off the tarp a little bit. So I may have to find a tougher tape or another way of holding that tarp on. Okay, so with the tarp secured to the threaded rod, I'm now mounting the bracket to the PVC pipe. I just had a piece lying around and it fit inside the roof rake pole that I had, so I'm just going to use a 3/16 machine screw to attach it to the roof rake, and then I'm going to attach the PVC pipe to the bracket.
Where can you see here?
Well, you can see I've gone ahead and drilled 2 quarter-inch holes
here for my,
so that I can attach the PVC pipe
machine
to
screws
the
here.
bracket.
Now you notice
I'm
they've
going
got
to
the
use
little
carriage bolts.
like what do you call it? Squared off
see
cap
we've got the
there.
square underside.
What I've done was once I
had a
drilled
rat
my
tail file that I used to
1/4-inch holes, I've got like a little
turn those round holes into
just a
square
rat
holes.
tail file
And,
that's
so that way
square.
I can take
tapered.
advantage of the carriage
And
bolt.
I just took the time to
You don't have
make
to do
that
that,
square,
but
so
it
now
just
that
came
will
in handy.
actually fit in there and lock into place, so it doesn't move. So that's kind of cool.
Okay, well, here's the finished product.
There it
As
is.
you can see, I've got the 2
I
quarter-inch
hope I didn't
carriage
miss any
bolts already secured, and you can see the securing nylon locking nuts underneath. And what I also did was I attached the PVC to the roof rake using the 3/16 machine screw and a wing nut. And I sort of choked up on the PVC pipe too because it was a little bit too flexible. Didn't want it to flex too much when I was removing the snow off the roof. Well, now it's time to put this thing to the test. So I took it up to the roof, and with one hand holding the camera, the other hand pushing the roof rake, it seemed to do a pretty good job, actually. Big chunks coming off, and I was able to remove all that snow in, well, what was that, 10 seconds? One change I might make is the height of the contraption. I found that when I had it fully extended, it tended to flex a little bit too much, and so by lowering the height might reduce that. So other than a few little modifications to this little contraption, I'm pretty pleased with the results. Okay, I thought I'd share the cost of this project with you. So everything was bought at Home Depot. The most expensive item was the piece of aluminum. That was 17 bucks. The next expensive was the tarp, followed by the anti-skid pads for the wheels, and next was the steel threaded rod. After that, it was just some sundry items like the nylon nuts, the carriage bolts. Those were about $1. I really didn't have to buy the machine screws at the package for $3. I only used one of them. I needed a wing nut, so I mean, what was that? 11 cents or something like that. Not very much. Yeah, so all this stuff is available at Home Depot, so go to it. And constructive criticism is appreciated if anybody has any brilliant ideas as to how to improve this product. All right, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.